Trevor Hyatt here, Mr. Green's blog. Welcome again. We're super excited to watch the Alpha Centauri team coming in. I'm just going to hold for a moment and begin talking once they've reached. This will give time for the other viewers to join in as well. So just let's hold our breath as we see Alpha Centauri pulling in. This is Trevor Hyatt, Mr. Green's blog from at power.com, Power Integrations, and we're excited to watch Alpha Centauri team that we've been proudly following, and their number 85 car featuring Powie Gan roll in here. Today we're at Tennant Creek, actually. It's October 23rd. It's almost 5 o'clock, so almost the end of day. And we're going to watch the team here in a moment. See some drama as they try to press the button to start the timer on the control stop. There they go. So that looks like it's Aaron. That looks to be Aaron again.
Go, Aaron! Woo!
Good job.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Little warm?
Doing fine.
Little warm?
Yeah, a little warm, but it's fine. It's fine.
Want a little bit of water here?
No, it's fine. I guess I first have to go to the toilet after so many hours in the car. Yeah.
Excellent. We'll let you catch up with your team and cool down a little bit. So, welcome the team in here again at Tennant Creek. This is not where we were expecting to live stream, actually. It's as you'd imagine, it's a very dynamic environment, actually, that we're working in. Things are changing quite rapidly, and even the event organizers have some challenges just making sure that the timing's straight. So there's some eventualities that happen out in this crazy, hectic road. Like I said, it's about 5 p.m., so we'll probably expect a lot of the team here to camp here for the night. 5 p.m. is the stoppage time for the end of day, so it gives a little bit of daylight for the folks to set up camp and then give their cars a little bit more of a charge before they kick off in the morning. As we pan around, Linda's panning around here around the parking lot, we see a lot of activity right now. So there was quite a few solar cars that came in just in the last several minutes. You can see a lot of them being worked on. You can see a lot of them with the hoods open. The hoods open doesn't necessarily mean that they are actually having problems. Actually, if you notice, in all those cases, they're actually gathering the last bits of sun here as it's sun starting to set. So they're trying to actually take advantage of the control stop, the 30 minutes that's mandatory, to go ahead and finish charging their vehicles. Something else we've seen here, you see a couple of cars that are up on jacks. Those are actually, a couple of those actually have replaced their tires. In fact, the ACE team had to replace, they had a little bit of a hiccup just yesterday late in the day where they actually had a tire fail and they had to pull off the side of the road. Then they fixed that up and were on their way, so it wasn't any major delay, but they did have that slow them down just a little bit. If you want to know actually where the position is, right now I think the ACE team is about, unofficially, they're 21 out of, I believe it's 38 total cars. So that's unofficial number. Of course, the full results are actually shown on the Burnstone World Solar Car Challenge website, so you can see the leaders' information there on the website. So please check that for official information. The ACE team, I believe, is running also number 14 in the Challenger class. So that's based on the check stop in Dunmara, if you look to the information there. Yeah, why don't we head over to the leaderboard, Linda, and take a look at that? They can get a sense of the folks tuning in, a sense of how they're tracking this and how are the riders and drivers will come over and quickly look at this board as soon as they arrive to see where their standing is with respect to the other teams. The leaders right now are actually there's a car in Noptis actually that's now very close to Alice Springs. I'm not sure that they've actually checked in. I don't know the official word, but they are very close to Alice Springs, quite far ahead of the teams here. But again, right now, anybody that's still in the race, it's quite the accomplishment. It's quite an effort to keep these cars running. We've seen a number of them come in on flatbed trucks already as having some challenges with the just even completing the race to this checkpoint. Coming in right now, we also see the Team Goku car. So this is the high school coming in, the black trimaran, just behind the Ace Team's car. If you want to know, actually, what's really interesting is last night we had the opportunity to stay pretty close by the Ace Team to overnight camp. We stayed in a caravan park in Laramie, big population, roughly around 20 people, and the accommodations are actually quite nice, very relaxing, air conditioning, real spacious. So the Powhatan van is doing well as well. We got it parked over in the parking lot there. Along the way, the conditions here today really pretty hot, as you would expect. Here, though, it's actually much more comfortable than it was a little further north. We actually have, again, about 100 degrees, but the humidity is just 15%. So in actuality, it feels quite a bit cooler. It's feeling about 90 degrees right now. It was quite warm. The ride down was it was actually a really smooth ride. On the other hand, we did see some smoldering fires, some remnants of some fires, grass fires along the way. A lot of smoke in the air, a little bit of haze you might even be able to see in the air today as a result from some of those grass fires. That hasn't impeded progress. It hasn't been a threat to any of the riders. It's just kind of a natural phenomenon. However, we have been told that as we move toward the next stop, there's even now there's a 170,000 acre brush fire happening quite south of us. It shouldn't be something that poses a stop for the competitors, but definitely something to take into consideration. And just again, a reminder of the heat and the increasing heat that we're seeing here in Australia as we move through spring. One other thing I wanted to mention is we are now, I think the last time we live streamed it was back in Catherine. That was roughly 420 kilometers from where we're at here at Tennant Creek. And so at 56.6 kilometers per hour, which is what the Ace Team is managing right now, that's roughly about a 7.5, 8-hour drive. So that's quite a long drive. It was a 2-lane road for the good majority of the way. Again, very smooth, easy sailing, except for some winds and something that they call road trains out here, which is big rigs that actually have 2 and oftentimes even 3 trailers on a single vehicle moving down. And you can imagine the impact from the wind from that on these very lightweight carbon fiber cars as they come down the Stewart Highway. Linda, do you think there's an opportunity to catch a moment with a team?
I'm not at this moment. I just did all the focus on some technicalities, get the car set up.
Yeah, we're trying to be very mindful here of the team. This is a very critical time, as you'd imagine. They've got 30 minutes really here during the control stop to make sure everything's tuned back up, make sure drivers are refreshed and replenished, deal with any issues, any technical issues they might be seeing on the last leg of the journey. So we just want to be mindful of that and keep our distance until they're able to come up for breath here. As we pan around, actually in the parking lot, you'll see a lot of activity, but you'll see all the Challenger class cars. They tend to be much more petite, much smaller cars, lighter cars. But then you also see the cruiser class, which the regulation is that it's got to be able to support at least 2 occupants. So it's more like a real passenger vehicle. And those vehicles are no slouch. You can see a couple of those on the far side there. The green car there was and the both of those cars actually you see off in the distance there, making just amazing speed. They've been actually checked in here for quite some time. So in fact, even though they're a larger car, they hold more occupants. They are actually holding up well, and actually the leaders are, even competitive with respect to the Challenger class. They are up the leaderboard.
Surprisingly more so than in previous years.
That's actually it's actually surprisingly more so than even in previous years that they've actually been able to really move their way up at the leaderboard, especially in this particular event this year in 2023. It's also I wanted to point out too that as I mentioned, the leaders are all the way up to Alice Springs at this point. It's actually the teams, as you'd imagine, have started to spread out. The spacing between the teams, the caravans of teams, is actually quite spread out now, and for the most cases. And so there's actually it's a much easier ride, a much more quiet ride compared to day one, where folks were really jockeying for position and just in the first several miles, for several kilometers. Just watching the team as they're backing the ace vehicle inside.
Looking for the optimum angle to catch the last rays of the sun.
Yeah, they're just optimizing for the last rays of the sun here. You can see they got the solar array almost completely vertical here while they pick up the sun while it's very much over on the horizon. We had an opportunity to catch up with the team just yesterday evening, right just before camp, and it looked like all systems were working well except the one issue with the tires. Everything's working well. The DC supplied by the InnoSwitch 3 EP was holding up well. They're very pleased with that. So all systems go. Again, it's a major accomplishment to make it this far and still have everything working reliably, robustly. We're very excited about that.
And you can mention 5 or 6 cars that probably dropped out.
Initially, especially as we're leaving Darwin and during the initial chaos, we had some infant life failures. So there was at least 4 or 5 different vehicles pulled to the side of the road that were not able to continue moving forward until they were having a repair. So I think a majority of those are. Some of those, I'm sure, have dropped out. It's just again an indication of the really rugged environment out here, and how it is really accomplishment with for folks to make it this far. All right, folks. It doesn't look like we're hoping to get a short conversation in with some of the team here, but again, being mindful of their time here, we're just going to let them finish up. We'll wrap up here. Again, our next stop is Barrow Creek on the way to Alice Springs. We're going to bet that there's not going to be any issues with fires, even though there is quite a bit, 171,000 acres burning in the outback, but it shouldn't be an issue for us. And we're wishing the team the very best. This is Trevor Hyatt, Mr. Green's blog at power.com. Again, we're proudly following the ACE team, Alpha Centauri team, and their car, number 85, featuring Powie Gan. Follow us at hashtag PowieGanVan.com. Or sorry, hashtag PowieGanVan.